Alright, we're gonna go into game number 6. Hopefully you guys are all excited. Hype up the chat. Let's see some more hype there, guys. I want to see some hype. What the shit is that on my hand? Yeah, let's see some hype, guys. Want to get excited about this clan war. It's a whole bunch of fun. It is between QED and mGG in this lovely best of 9 clan war. Of course, if you want to follow Metagame Gods, you can of course check them out at Metagame Gods on Twitter, and also facebook.com/metagamegods. You can go and click on the like button there for them. Of course, you can also go have a look at me up in the top right there on facebook.com/duckville.casting, and also at duckvillelol on Twitter. I'm always tweeting. Some people bitch about me tweeting too much, but you know, whatever. Don't follow me. That's your problem, not mine. Tweeting about Dota 2, StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, all these kinds of cool things. And we'll get right into this game. Been tweeting about that quite a little bit. If you could go and retweet me, that'd be quite sexy. We're going to have another PvP starting down at the bottom right, bottom left-hand side, I should say, of Daybreak, aka Zerg Break, as mentioned by the opposing player. It is mGG's Nemesis. We'll see if she's able to take a 2-win streak here. Of course, after that very interesting PvP against our player Stod in the previous match. But Nemesis' opponent, she's going to be facing off against another Protoss player in the blue. At the top right-hand side, it is QED's Books. So, let's keep an eye on the gates. Of course, the gates have been the interesting thing here. Both of these players look as if they're going to go for something a little bit more standard. Stod's not here to sort of make everyone a little bit more panicked about one-base shenanigans. Hey, Zeratul, did we get a check on whether shenaniganery is a word or not? I don't know if that's a word. Anyway, so we'll keep an eye on what's going on. As I mentioned, I would kind of expect this particular game to get into Phase 2 of PvP. You sort of remember me ranting about PvP just before, where we've got the 3 phases. I would sort of expect this one to get into Phase 2. This is a map which does promote, you know, sort of a little bit more macro play with your expansion being pretty easy to take. You've sort of got this position where you can sort of force a choke point if you want. Force fields can be used to help defend quite easily, and it's quite nice to do. Looks like Nemesis is going for her second gas there. Of course, as we can see, Burks has already got his, and that's actually just about done. That was a little bit of an earlier gas than Nemesis grabs, so we'll see if Burks is going to go. It looks like he is going to go for a 3 Stalker-based opening. Very standard stuff there from him. Cyber now just finishing up for Nemesis. She's going to crank out a Zealot, then a Stalker, I would assume. Of course, if you're Burks right now, you've got this probe inside your opponent's main base. You want to keep an eye on what units come out. You really want to see what the second unit to come out after the Zealot is, because if that's a sentry, you can of course assume that your opponent is going to be playing a little bit more defensively. If it's a Stalker, then they may be coming to put some pressure on. But interesting to see, Nemesis has got a proxy pilot down the bottom side of the map here. I'm not sure what that's going to be for. I don't think it's going to be for any tech. There's no probe here to sort of help out, and because her gas was a little bit later, that means that it's unlikely that it's going to be something else that could be a little bit more offensive. But as we can see, double Stalkers now coming up. It looks like Burks actually got his Robo up a little bit quicker than normally would have been expected, so that's on the way. Second gate is also coming from Nemesis. I'm not, you know, I don't know sort of how I feel about the second gate coming that late, but either way, going to be able to get that up and running very soon with Warp Gate Tech on the way. A robotics facility also being constructed right now. Burks' Robo has already been built. He's got an Immortal on the way, perhaps a little bit scared of a possible early 4-gate as Nemesis did in a previous game, but there isn't going to be nothing of the sort. Of course, Burke should know this. He would have known that the Cyber was relatively sort of similar timing here. But, you know, we'll have to see what happens. I think it looks as if he is going to go for a blink-based play with the fact that he's cranked up so much of that gas. But who knows? Who well knows? But in fact, Nem... Oh, I thought that was a probe. I was going to say there is going to be some proxy tech, but no. It looks like we are just going to have an expansion here from Burks. He's got one Immortal out, going to help out with the defense. Some Stalkers here as well. Probe just waiting around to get building on that Nexus, and we'll see that go down right about now. There it is. So, looks like Burks is going to go for just a very nice expansion-based strategy. Nemesis being extremely safe right now. Got a couple of sentries already here. An Immortal is on the way. A third gate is also being built. So she's just being very, very careful about how she's maneuvering from this position onwards. The Natural is also going down for her as well, so she is going to be safe but expanding. Always a good way to play. And I'm still sort of... looks like we're not going to have any sort of offensive-based play from either of these two particular combatants in this ring on Daybreak. So, you know, will mean that the game will go on a little bit longer. I would sort of expect to see a Robo... Yep, I was going to say Robotics Bay is about to go down for one of these players, but Nem is already way ahead of me. She's already got that started. Already got that started. Sorry, guys. Hang on just a tick. Voice dying there. Sorry about that. Alright, I'm all good now. Sorry about that, guys. So, we have got some Stalkers out. A couple of Immortals here for Burks as well. No more Immortals being boosted out just as of yet, but he did actually spend the money on getting the Robotics Bay. Third gate is just also on the way here from Burks as well. Forge is also going down, so he's going to have the upgrades available. Forge, I think, also went down for Nemesis. Yeah, there it is. So she's going to be getting started on some upgrades soon, I would hope. Probably +1 to weapons. There it is. Yep, right on time. And the Observer is going to scout out that her opponent is doing relatively same sort of thing, just slightly behind on the tech, just due to the fact that Burke's expansion was a little bit earlier, and Nemesis is going to be starting on that first Colossus. So we'll keep an eye on how far ahead Nemesis is with the Colossus count. Of course, a very big factor of PvP is how many Colossus you have and how many does your opponent have. Got to be careful of all of these kinds of things. Photon Cannon there. That's a little bit weird for a Photon Cannon to be placed there, but I mean, I suppose, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. If a Warp Prism comes in and some DTs drop down, you got to be very careful of those sorts of things, but you know, with the fact that Nem would have been able to see that the Robotics Bay was there, you don't really need to be worried about DTs for the time being. Anyway, as we can see, we've got the economy sitting quite nicely for Nemesis right now. She's up to 44 probes, looking quite good with all of that. Quite a lot of Chrono Boost available still, but still doing a reasonably good job. And it looks like a Twilight Council also being built just to make sure that the +2 on the attack weapons can be upgraded as smoothly as possible. Burke, meanwhile, currently sitting on a total of 42 probes. Is a little bit behind, but not really too much. It's not too much of an issue at this sort of stage of the game, but he is going to get that 4th gas started finally, perhaps a little bit late considering he's already into the Robotech, and both of these players just sort of content for the moment to sit back and macro up. They're just going to be powering up now. As we can see, Burks has decided, you know what, it's go time. Going to be setting a second Robo Bay down here, and he's going to get started on 2 Colossi at a time. Going to try and catch up, but unfortunately at the moment, he is supply blocks. We'll have to see him fix that up in just a moment. Looks like, where are they? There they are. A couple of extra pylons being built. Twilight Council at the back as well, just to make sure that he can get his own +2 to weapons on the way as well. And so, you know, this is that stage where it's going to turn into a situation where both players are sort of looking at it and saying, you know what, there is a big-ass ramp here. I can't really attack into that with all of my forces because you're going to have this insane concave sort of shooting down at me. So what I'm going to do, we'll both get 3 bases, we'll both just start expanding here, and you know what, we'll just wait till we both have about 30 Colossus and then we'll fight. So we have made it through stage number 2 of PvP. We're going to get to phase 3 very soon here, and you know, it does get very exciting. It gets exciting sort of, you know, once you have those big Colossus battles, but for the time being, when you're sort of sitting here as a commentator, you're like, alright, well, you know, nothing is going to happen. for quite a long time. Yeah, well, I suppose we can look at the upgrades. We currently got Charge on the way for Nemesis, so she is going to have that slight little advantage. Not a huge thing when it comes to Colossus Wars, but I mean, if your Zealots can get in and get a couple of shots off, that's always quite nice. Double Robotic Spade here for Nem as well. She's going to be cranking out those double Colossus, going to be looking quite good. +2 on the weapons. He's also researching for her as well. So things really just quite even right now. I think the only small difference is going to be on the Colossus count, and in fact Nemesis is actually the one who's slightly behind here. She's currently sitting on a total of 3 Colossus to the 4 of Burks, and Burks is just, you know, he's going to continue on with that lead for the time being. If both players continue to utilize their double robo, they will be able to, Burks will definitely be able to keep in the lead for the moment until a battle occurs or until someone screws up. So, as we can see, Nem is now getting her tech prepared. We've got a couple of, we've got a Dark Shrine on the way. A couple of extra gates have been built as well, just to make sure she can resupply quite nicely. Stargate is also on the way. Looks like we'll probably see a mothership come out, maybe a little bit quicker from Nemesis. If she gets that fleet bacon up pretty soon, she'll be able to throw down a mothership, and that'll be a really helpful tool in this possible upcoming battle. Of course, PvP, if you get a mothership out and you are able to vortex your opponent, what you want to do is spread out all of your units. You know, I'm going to demonstrate it here just because we're sort of waiting for something to actually happen. Whoops, wrong thing. Oops, no, not that thing. Okay, hang on. Alright, I got it this time, guys. You ready? Alright, so that's your vortex there. Oh, whoops. That's your vortex there. You need to position all of your units so that they can come in from all sides and just splash down on everything that's inside the vortex. Don't send them into the vortex, because that's just a dumb idea. That'll just actually destroy all of your units as well as theirs, so it's a little bit silly to do that. So, we'll see if Nem goes down that path. She does have a fleet beacon on the way. Where is it? Where is the bacon? Everyone loves bacon. There it is, the fleet bacon being built right now. Warping in from Aya, I guess, if Aya has been rebuilt yet. I don't know if it has, but she will have that up and running very soon. Looks as if Burks has also got his own fleet bacon on the way. Going to be lots of bacon on this map. I love it already. Dark Shrine also being built for Burks as well. The current unit count is sitting at 7 Colossus for Nemesis. She's got a slightly lower count here. 8 Colossus now, 3 Stalkers, 2 Sentries, 9 Zealots, and 1 Immortal in a pair tree. But it looks like Burke's going to have a quick look. Going to try and test his opponent's metal, just to see if Nemesis has fully prepared at all of these bases. But it looks like maybe some targeting down on some of these probes. We'll get 1, we'll get 2. Not really too much of an issue right now, but as you can see, Nemesis is also going to have a look and try and get her own damage done. Maybe if these units can target down that proton cannon and target it down, they will. 102 upgrades on these units. The DT is also in the mix, going to be able to throw out that extra damage. Probes trying to escape, but getting blocked out by the Zealots, perhaps. That is going to work to the advantage of Nemesis, but unfortunately, in the end, everything gets mowed down by that very high Colossus count. And as I was saying, the Colossus count for Burks currently sitting at 9, his Immortal count at 2, 18 Zealots, 5 Stalkers, and a couple of Sentries, and 1 Warp Prism sitting out on the map just down the bottom side. Going to try and drop in, get some harassment done. Burks is, there you go, I was about to say he's not actually doing anything, but there we go. 6 DTs whooping it. They should be able to hack down this cannon, no doubt about that. There it goes. These guys are now have essentially free reign. There is 1 more cannon across the left, but that is, wow, okay, it's suddenly turned into a DT versus DT battle here. Perhaps not the best idea. Nemesis attempting to switch into an Archon, but unfortunately that's not going to help out at all. We'll need to retreat with the majority of our units. Does have an Observer here to help spot. There is 1 Void Ray in this mix. Wow, interesting to see that. But both players now have a mothership on the field. Where is it for Nemesis? There it is. Okay, she's got her Nemesis mothership out. We'll call it the Scimitar. And as we can see, where is it for Burks? Oh, there it is. Alright, cool. Alright, so this is that stage where upgrades can actually start to matter. where you sort of look at a PvP and you say, alright, what are my upgrades compared to my opponents? Obviously, the big factor in PvP is the damage upgrades. Of course, as we can see, the Thermal Lance taking the damage up to 21 here for Burks, and of course all the power unity, the Archons, the Immortals, the Colossus as well. With +3, they're going to do fantastic amounts of damage here for Burks. And here comes Nemesis. She's got 1, 1, 2. So slight amounts of extra protection here for Nemesis. But I mean, when you've got all these power unity, you really need those damage upgrades. So she's going to sit in a little bit of a sort of detrimental position right now. But interesting to see, she's thrown in a couple of Void Rays to help out with these attacks. So we'll keep an eye. Another big factor of this upcoming, well, it's going to be a semi-War of the World slash, like, some sort of weird cloak battle, maybe Predator or something like that. But, of course, the Mothership will be an interesting factor as well. Will we see the clutch Vortex from either of these players? These are the things we've got to consider when looking at a PvP sitting at the 21-minute mark when both players have these very powerful Motherships out. What I kind of want to see from Nemesis, maybe get rid of some of these Zealots. You don't really need these Zealots at this stage of the game unless they're doing some run-by tactics, and neither of these players are in a position where they can do something like that. Even Burks, throw away some of those Zealots, perhaps get some more Archons, a little bit more useful than those Zealots. So we'll see if either of these guys go for you know, some sort of way just to get rid of that. Perhaps, you know, if Burks just sort of sends his Zealots around and sort of comes in this direction here and just tries to attack into Nemesis, he may get some damage done. There's only 2 cannons there, and if he can target down some of the probes, that'd be quite nice. But what you'd really want is to target down the Nexus. But there we go. Nemesis has read my mind. She's going to send down some of these Zealots here. In fact, is that every single Zealot she has? Yes, I think it is. Is going to try and do a run by it down the bottom side of the map. Maybe if she can target down the Nexus, she should be able to get it. Just having a quick look at the upgrades. 1, 1, 2. She's currently got +3, 2 weapons on the way. These Zealots going to get a little bit of damage done. The cannon's now going down, but it looks as if Burks is going to respond to this by just pushing through the middle. Or is he? Yep, he definitely is. Alright, Colossus count currently sitting at 10 for Nemesis, so she actually has the advantage. And here we go. We are into the battle. Mothership now coming along. Looks like Burke is actually going to get the Vortex down. There it is. Alright, beautifully done by Burks. He's sitting in a fantastic spot right now. As we said, you want to see the spread on these Colossus. Spread them out so that they can lay waste to every single unit in here. But DTs from Nemesis, hacking down every single thing. She actually got rid of her opponent's observers. Where are the observers of Burks? He actually has none here to detect anything in this battle, and that is effectively going to be it for Burks. Brilliant play from Nemesis. Takes down the observers, and that is it. Nemesis on a streak right now, taking the score up to a total of 4-2 here for mGG. Wow, what a finish to that battle. I kind of was not really expecting that after you see a Vortex like that. As I said, what you want to do is throw like a concave around the Vortex, or if you want to get like super awesome, it's just a total circle around the Vortex, and then just burn everything down as soon as it comes out. But Nemesis took down her opponent's observers, whether it was intentional or not, took down her opponent's observers and had DTs on the field hacking apart the legs of those Colossus. And I mean, if you're a Colossus wearing those high heels that they do, DTs are not a fun thing to try and deal with when you've got no detection. So, Nem doing a good job here. She will go into the next game, game number 7, and we'll see if QED are able to pull a win back, or if Nemesis is going to take the victory here for mGG, and we'll find out in just a moment. Stay with us. Post what you thought of that game in the chat.